With just 30 bucks to spend, here's what webcams I picked. Mexico N60. This one surprised me with the sheer number of feature it packs for something so cheap. When I first plugged it in, I was impressed by the decent colors in good lighting and the super wide 110-degree field of view that captured my whole office. It also comes with a privacy cover and a full 360-degree swivel mount, which are things I don't expect at this price. However, the moment I started moving, the image processing showed its budget roots. The picture got noticeably pixelated and all was distracting, and it really fell apart in low light. For me, this is a webcam that looks great on the spec sheet, but stumbles in practice. It's the right choice if you need the widest possible shot and a tripod mount on a shoestring budget, but only if you're sitting perfectly still for a video call. Logitech Brio 101. The Logitech Brio 101 is it just works webcam in this price range, and honestly, that's the biggest strength. Right out of the box, the image was sharp with a classic reliable Logitech color science that just looks natural and professional for calls. I didn't have to mess with settings. It handled with the lighting in my room without making me look washed out or overly contrasted. My main gripe though is the very narrow 58-degree field of view. I felt like it was just a shot of my face and I had to push it way back on my monitor to get a decent frame. It also lacks a tripod mount, which limits placement options. Still, this is the perfect webcam for someone who just wants to plug something in for Zoom or Teams and know they're going to look good without any hassle. If I had 30 bucks, I would buy the Logitech Brio 101 because its reliable image quality and the color accuracy are more important for professional looking calls than the extra features of its competitors. With just 15 bucks to spend, here's what webcams I picked. Anker PowerConf C200. This is the webcam that genuinely made me question what a budget model could do. When I first fired up the PowerConf C200, the 2K image was immediately impressive, delivering a sharpness of detail that you just don't typically see in this price range. It's a clear step up from the usual 1080p fare. I found its autofocus to be snappy and reliable, and it's performed surprisingly well in my dimly lit office, keeping the image clear without getting overly grainy. The built-in privacy shutter is a simple but fantastic touch for peace of mind. My only real gripe is with the microphones. While they pick up my voice clearly, the AI noise cancellation can be a bit too aggressive, occasionally making my audio sound overly processed or choppy. Still, if your top priority is getting the best possible video quality for your calls or an entry-level stream without spending a lot, this is the one. Logitech C920X. The Logitech C920X is the definition of a tried and true classic. It has been a go-to recommendation for years for a good reason. In my experience, it's all about consistency. The 1080p video is crisp, with solid color reproduction, and it just works the second you plug it in. The autofocus is dependable, if not lightning fast, and the light correction does a decent job of brightening up a darker room. What I've always appreciated about the C920 is its rock-solid built-in versatile mount. I've clipped it onto all sorts of monitors without any wobble. It does show its age a bit when compared to newer competitors. The image isn't quite as detailed, and the audio from the built-in mics is just passable for a quick call. Definitely not for streaming. This is the perfect webcam for someone who values battle-tested reliability over the latest specs and just wants a device that will never let them down. If I had to spend my own 50 bucks, I would buy the Anker PowerConf C200 for its sharper 2K image and more modern feature set, despite the slightly finicky microphone processing. Here's what I'd buy if I only had 100 bucks to spend on a webcam. UpSpot Tiny SD. This little webcam completely changes the game for what you can get under 100 bucks. The standout feature for me is the AI-powered gimbal tracking. It's genuinely impressive how it follows you around the room, keeping you perfectly in frame without any fuss. I used it for a bunch of video calls and a few streams, and the image quality at 1080p is clean and bright, even when my office lighting wasn't the best. It handled low light situations surprisingly well, avoiding the grainy look you often get with budget webcams. While the AI tracking and image are fantastic, don't expect much from the built-in microphone. It's passable for a quick meeting, but you'll want a dedicated mic for serious streaming. For anyone who moves around a lot during presentations or wants a more dynamic shot without manually adjusting their camera, the Tiny SC is an easy recommendation. Elgato Facecam MK2. The Elgato Facecam MK2 is all about delivering a clean, no-nonsense 1080p signal at a smooth 60 frames per second. In my testing, I immediately noticed the image was sharper and the colors felt more natural compared to its predecessor, though it can look a bit washed out if you don't tweak the settings in the software. The build is lightweight, and I appreciate the new built-in privacy shutter. It's much better than the old detachable one that I always lost. The biggest thing to know is that it has no microphone, so Elgato is assuming you already have a separate audio setup, which is common for most streamers. This camera is for the budding content creator who values uncompressed video quality and a high frame rate over everything else and is willing to bring their own microphone to the party. If I had to spend my own $100, I would buy the Obsbot Tiny SE because its AI-powered gimbal offers a unique and practical feature that no other webcam at this price point can match. If I only had $150 to spend, these are the webcams I'd buy. Insta360 Link 2C. The Insta360 Link 2C really surprised me with the sheer quality you get for this price. It's basically the high-end Insta360 Link 2 without the gimbal, so in my testing, the 4K image is incredibly sharp and crisp without looking overly processed, making finer details like individual hairs pop on screen. I found the color reproduction to be excellent, especially with lighting, and the companion software gives you a ton of control to dial things in perfectly. While the HDR effect is subtle, it does help a bit with bright highlights. My main frustration came from the gesture controls, which were hit or miss for me. Also, while the built-in privacy shutter is a fantastic touch that I prefer over a loose cap, the microphone is just okay. You'll want a dedicated mic for serious streaming or recording. This is the perfect webcam for someone who prioritizes the absolute sharpest 4K image for their streams or video calls and prefers the security of a built-in privacy shutter. Obsbot Me 2 4K. The first thing that struck me about the Obsbot Me 2 4K is just how tiny it is for a 4K webcam. It's astonishingly compact. Right out of the box, I noticed the image was a little dark and warm for my taste, but a few quick tweaks to the ISO and white balance in the Obsbot Setter app made a huge difference. What I absolutely love is its genuine magnetic mount design that lets you flip the camera for vertical video. It automatically rotates the output, which is a massive time saver for creating social media content. The AI zoom gesture is also more reliable here than on some competitors. Just make an L shape with your hand and it works. On the downside, the image isn't quite as tack sharp as the Link 2C and it uses a magnetic lens cap that I was constantly afraid of losing. For me, this is the clear choice for content creators who need to quickly switch between landscape and portrait without fumbling with tripods, and who values natural-looking skin tones over maximum sharpness. If it were my money, I'd buy the Obsbot Me 2 4K because its that simple vertical video mode is a game changer for my workflow, making it worth the minor trade-off in image sharpness. If I only had $200 to spend, these are the webcams I'd buy. Razer Kiyo Pro Ultra. The Kiyo Pro Ultra is what happens when a webcam tries to be a DSLR, and honestly, it gets impressively close. The first time I plugged this in, the image quality genuinely surprised me. The massive sensor inside creates a natural, buttery smooth background blur without any cheap-looking software tricks. My face was always perfectly exposed, even with a bright window behind me, thanks to its excellent auto exposure and HDR. The downside is that this thing is big. It's not a subtle webcam, and Razer Synapse software is still a pain to deal with if you want to tweak settings. But if you never touch the software, the out-of-the-box experience is phenomenal. It's the perfect webcam for streamers or content creators who want that premium near-mirrorless camera look without the hassle and are willing to pay for it. Logitech Brio 4K. The Logitech Brio 4K has been the go-to 4K webcam for years, and using it again, I'm reminded why it's such a workhorse. The 4K image is incredibly sharp, almost too sharp, as I found it highlighted every little flaw on my face, which is something you don't get with softer sensors. In my testing, its HDR and auto-light correction were fantastic, seamlessly adjusting as I moved around or changed my lighting. While it offers a wider field of view than the Razer, I've noticed it can produce a slightly grainy or noisy image if your lighting isn't great, which is a trade-off for its brightness adjustments. The Brio 4K is for the professional who needs a reliable feature-packed webcam for crystal clear conference calls and presentations and isn't chasing that cinematic blurred background look. If I had to spend my own $200, I'd buy the Razer Kiyo Pro Ultra because its superior sensor and lens deliver a more professional and aesthetically pleasing image straight out of the box, which is exactly what I prioritize for video content. Alright guys, thanks for watching. I hope this video helped you pick the best webcams for you. If you have any questions, drop a comment below. Links to all of these products mentioned in this video will be in the description. Alright, peace out.